Hey guys! Hi everybody! Are we live yet? I'm getting better at this. Super. Okay, so we are going to be hi everybody. We are going to be Rini Kotari. Thank you so much. Hi guys. Hi, good to see you're all joining. Nice to see you all. Well, I must say that I'm getting better at these Insta lives, and today I'm going to do an Insta live for a very special book. I've not read this book, but I feel that I don't really have to read it to have to introduce you to this book. The book is called Your Best Day is Today, and I mean, in these times, what can you ask for? It's called Your Best Day is Today, and it's written by Anupam Kher. Here is the book. So Anupam has written a motivational book, and knowing Anupam the way I do, he's been inspiring, and he's been there, and he's a positive force. And I have gone through the book a bit, but I have not read it fully yet. I will be reading it, but I know Anupam as a person, and if anybody, I'm so glad he has come out with a book that's motivational, because the way he has lived his life, the way he has handled the ups and downs in his life, and the way he's always been there with a very positive attitude, there's so much that you can learn from him. And hence when he called up and he said, I've written a motivational book, I said, who better but him to write a book like that? So here we are today. It's called Your Best Day is Today. Your Best Day is Today by Anupam Kher, and I'm hoping that he joins us really soon and we can have a nice chat with him. Guys, remember, write in to me, and if there are any particular questions that you want to ask him regarding the book, okay, maybe a few others also, we'll try to sneak them in also. But if we do that, then let's ask him a few questions. Let's kind of get into his mind a bit, chew his brains a bit, and see what made him write a book, write this book. How has the pandemic been for him? How has he been dealing? I mean, I know him to be a really restless person. He's always up to something. So the fact that he has stayed at home and has been quarantined, how has he dealt with it? So I have a lot of questions for him. I hope to cover most of them, but if I'm not covering some, write in quickly and I'll ask those questions. So are you guys ready? Should we look for I'm waiting to look for Anupam to join us. There. We're waiting for him. Hi Anupam. Hi. I hope you joined in quickly. There, I'm waiting for him. I'm so proud of myself. I'm getting so much better at this. So yeah, Anupam, are you there? Have you come in? I hope so. Okay, I'm waiting for him. I've got this nearly right, and hopefully this time we should be good with this. In the meanwhile, write it. What are the questions you want to ask him? What do you think we should ask him? Why is he... Okay, there is a problem. I'm going to send in the request again. This time. There you are. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I had joined it earlier also, but I think I couldn't see you.
Okay.
But now we are there. We are live.
So good to see you.
So good to see you too. So good to see you.
Anupam,
You look
I
so
will look
amazing.
out of my window and I'll be able to see you, and we're sitting here virtually and talking when we could just...
Yes, we can. I can come to my balcony and you can come to your window and we can look at each other.
Really, and I mean, look at the times we are in there. Instead of doing that, we are talking to each other virtually. But you know what? If we had to have the pandemic, I would say, look at the positive. Thank God we have the technology where we can at least interact with each other. Otherwise, imagine what would happen to us. So I was
Yeah.
just telling that Anupam's written a book called Your Best Day is Today.
Yes.
So true in these times. Yes, absolutely. Now, like I told them that I've not read the whole book yet. Like
Yes.
I was busy being a jury member, etc., etc. But normally, but the thing that I would like to mention is that the moment you told me you had written this book, I didn't feel like I needed to read it to have a conversation with you, because the moment you said it, the first thing that crossed my mind was, yeah, I mean, who better than Anupam to do this? Because uh, I've known you for a really, really long time,
Yeah.
and pandemic has made me a bit nostalgic also, and I do want to start today with going back a bit to where we started from. I was an absolute newcomer doing something for your company, which was a New Year's
Yes. Yes.
shout.
New Year's Eve with Prabhu Deva.
Yes, and and then we did a film. I would love to forget, but we did that with
Keemat.
yes.
I will not let you forget that.
And I have to say that what came back to me, and I remember from Kimat, which has been a wholly forgettable experience for me for a lot of reasons. And I did want to, but there is one thing that I cannot forget in it, and which was that there was some amazing time that I had with you, with conversations that I had with you.
Yes.
And I was getting into the industry. I've been very, very raw, and there was the way you were an outsider, I was an outsider, and this outsider has become a very big term, and I don't mean it like that, but
Right.
somebody who's not coming from a family in here or a lot of friends in here. So there was a lot of the talk that you gave me really kind of motivated me at that
We
time.
had a long journey from Mahabaleshwar to Mumbai in a
Yes,
car journey.
absolutely. And
Yes.
through this whole thing, the process of uh, you motivated me at that point of time, and so for me, that just came back when you told me you've written a motivational book and about the pandemic, and I was like, yeah, who better than Anupam to write about this? I would say that having seen you through the ups and downs of your career, though a lot of times when you look at your amazing career, you think only of the ups. But we know
Yes.
there have been downs too.
Of
And
course.
the way you've dealt with them has been so amazing. And I've been lucky enough to have this conversation with you. And it's been it's been your frame of mind, the way you've looked at it, the way you have motivated yourself to look at things and move on from them. So every time that people have thought that Anupam is finished, Anupam is over, this is it, how much more? You've always sprung a surprise and done something amazing. So this is pandemic for us. How has pandemic been for you?
Thank you for wonderful introduction. Thank you for reminding me of the days which you want to forget. But how can we forget days which have taught us what not to do? You know, even the days which are not good for us are the days where we learn so much. I personally feel that you learn more from things which should have not happened in your life than things which happened in your life. So I'm a sum total of my failures that went into my life, and that's why it doesn't bother me. I will never be finished as a person because I'm an eternal optimist. I find good things in everything. When I came back from New York to Mumbai on the 20th of March after this pandemic was announced, and we live in the same lane, and right from the airport till this lane, Mr. Kapoor's house before my house, I used to get down and sort of meet him first. Initially, it was like looking like a film scene from Will Smith's film where things were not happening and ऐसा लग रहा था कोई disaster film है. Actually, सड़क पे कोई नजर नहीं आ रहा. Airport पे there is nobody. And I realized that we are the one who are caged animals in our houses, and the birds and the animals were actually freely roaming on the streets. This book that we are talking about today, Your Best Days Today, was not planned at all. But as the days were passing for pandemic, I was discovering that as I said, I'm an eternal optimist. I was thinking, what is the good thing that is coming out of it? The moment I discovered that what is the good thing that is coming out of it, the first thing was that it was cleansing of our mother nature. It was a complete overhauling happening. We human beings had made unbelievable decisions to how to exploit this nature or this earth, and how we had in our greed to go ahead and sort of do anything, we forgot that there are other inhabitants in this in our world, and nature had to come up with a positive pause, so that and it had to happen worldwide, and it happened in a form of a virus. Otherwise, we would have never learned a lesson. So, as you said, that we discovered 2-3 things in this pandemic. I discovered that first thing that we did, what we need, we only need 3 things in life, actually. We always need to be with our dear ones, with people that we love the most, whether it is our family, whether it is parents, husband, wife, children. That was the first thing we required. Anywhere in the world, people wanted to be close to their family, to the family. Second thing is that what are the necessity commodities that we needed? Food. That's it. Choti moti cheezein, doodh, roti, sabzi, simple thing. And third thing we needed is Wi-Fi. That is all we need. And all our life we chase things, we plan things which are not even needed. I'm cleaning my cupboard these days, and there are millions of things which I did not need to buy. Nobody has become saint, but we discovered in this pandemic, discovered in this lockdown, that we chase mirage. We chase a mirage. We are constantly looking for something. We are running fast nowhere.
How little we need.
Sorry?
How little we actually need.
We don't need anything. We just need connection with our dear ones. We just need something to eat, and we need a Wi-Fi so that we can communicate with the world, even if we live across the street. Yeah, exactly. And so there was a sudden urge to make people believe in goodness of life, because I'm sure it has had its own impact. People are insecure. People are feeling demotivated. But I'm a people's person. So I said, let me write my journey right from New York till whatever journey I'm taking place. And as I started penning down, ideas kept flowing. What else it has done? It has also brought out the best in us. We have become great listeners. We're actually listening to other people. We are actually having conversations. We were actually doing Zoom calls, or we were actually calling up people. I called up, I had a 10th standard photograph of mine of 57 students in that 10th standard. I almost called up 39 of those people. Wow. I had never spoken to them. I found people telling their stories. They actually started listening to their parents.
So how long was this journey before you started penning it all down?
I think I had already spent about 4 months into pandemic. And then I called up my publisher, Ashok Chopra and Hay House, and I said, I have ideas and I want to write a book. Mm-hmm. And they are wonderful. They have published my earlier 2 books. One was Best Thing About You and my autobiography.
But the Best Thing About You had just come out. It was not like
No, Best Thing has been there for the last 7-8 years. It's a number 1 bestseller for the last 7 years. The lessons life taught me.
Lessons. Sorry. Yes. Lessons life taught me.
Yes, that had just come out. That came last year.
This book has come on top of it quite quickly. I mean, obviously when
because this was my need. Others were wanting to feel important as an author. You see, I have never got more than 38% in marks in exams. I am a Hindi medium guy. I have learned how to speak in English only when I came to Mumbai. Means I could read and write. I read all the literature of Russian or American, whatever, but communication was a problem. But this book, I needed to make myself feel better, and in the process, others feel better. Yeah. That was important. I first needed, because this was the first time in 36 years I was taking a break. You just introduced me as a restless person. You're absolutely bang on.
Completely restless. You're always doing something, and you're
Exactly.
so busy all the time. I
Because my
remember
competition
in
is
New
with
York,
myself.
you were so busy. Not you were shooting, you were preparing, and yet there were dinners happening. You were meeting people. You had a really hectic social life in New York also.
Yes.
Maybe not as hectic as Mumbai, but you were really you were so busy. And so for a person like that to suddenly shut everything down, to come down and to just kind of stay in this one house. Yes, we are all really thankful that we have the comfort of our homes to be quarantined in, but still, and not taking away from that, but the fact that where you were coming from to be just caught up here, what was it? Obviously, that you're saying
So
is what
it was. So
right.
I'll tell you why I'm restless, because I have gone through the 3 years of humiliation, lack of dignity when I was looking for work in Mumbai. 3 years of sleeping on the platforms, having no money, taking money from the people, etc., etc. And I was a gold medalist from drama school. Just because I was half bald and very thin, and I did not look like any so-called film hero, it was
Right.
not possible. And I don't hold anybody responsible for that. So when I got work finally in my first film, Saraj, I said I will never take a break. And I literally did not take a break. And I also don't like to eat alone. I never eat alone. I feel I think eating alone is an act of loneliness. So I always pick up somebody. I always get
Oh my
somebody.
God, that's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, आप खाना खाते हैं, मेरा इसका फिजिकल भी मैनिफेस्टेशन है मेरा. देखो, आप रोटी तोड़ते हैं तो कुछ कर रहे हैं. रोटी तोड़ी, आपने दाल में मिलाई, सब्जी में मिलाई, तो आप कुछ कर रहे हैं. फिर जब आपने मुंह में डाली, अब जब चबा रहे हैं तो कुछ नहीं कर रहे आप.
Yeah.
कोई बात
But
करने
that brings me to one thing. My mother always said that I would say that why are you sitting with me? I don't need to. And she said, no, you should never. If anybody is eating, you never let them sit alone and eat. I don't know where that comes from, but that was something that my mother would always say. And even today, even if I see anybody sitting and eating alone, I always go and sit down with them, just chatting or whatever, but just
Exactly.
sit there.
Yeah.
And so these are from what I read, there are a lot of these very wise learnings that come from your grandfather, from your father, and of course, oh my God, Dulari, whom we all love.
Yes, Dulari is really a rock star
wisdoms
now,
that
actually.
come.
Yeah.
So that's where it all comes from. What are these lovely nuggets of wisdom that still come? Like you've dedicated the book to Dulari, your mother, who always told
Yes,
you.
so the title has come from her.
Your
The
best
title
day.
has come from her. You see, when we were very poor, and we were 14 of us living in a small room, and one day I asked but we were happy. We were poor, but we were happy. छोटी जगह में 14 लोग रहते थे. So I asked my grandfather, I said, Dadaji, we are very poor. Why are we happy? He gave an amazing answer. He said, when you are very poor, the cheapest luxury is happiness.
Oh.
And my mother used to take me and my brother Raju to drop us to the primary school. This was a Hindi medium school. And every time she dropped us, she said it in Kashmiri, Azuk dochu sani ko jaan. That means your best days today.
Wow.
And then sometimes she did not used to say that. And we will tell her, but today you did not say. So that was stuck in my mind, that your best days today. And this pandemic, this lockdown made me realize your day, your moment that you waiting for is this now. Me communicating with you, me talking to you, me seeing your growth and your Sonali's book club and what you are doing with this thing. This is important, this 45 minutes to 1 hour, and people who are joining us. This is what is important. And then mom fell sick. We had taken her to get her MRI done for some kind of a cyst near her liver. Not for anything else. She had stayed in the hospital. She had stayed at home for 7 months. This was her first outing outside. She was going with her 2 sons in this car. And we went to her this MRI clinic somewhere close by. And doctor said, yeah, that cyst is there. It's benign, but she has COVID. So she was not prepared for this at all. She had come for a drive. She was going back home, and suddenly we had to tell her that we'll have to take you to the hospital now. You're not going back home.
Reaction.
Yeah. And my brother also got tested. I also got tested, and my brother came positive and I came negative. Then we said, let's get his family done. And his wife also was COVID positive, and the daughter also, Vinda. So suddenly within those 15 minutes, everything went upside down. And here my mother wanted to
that
say,
you felt guilty about testing negative.
yes, I felt guilty for not testing positive along with my family. But I had already, I think, got it, and later on I discovered that I have
Antibodies.
antibodies. So this whole thing about how I dealt with it, and how in hospital I met strangers and who told me, "आपकी मम्मी तो ठीक हो जाएगी, वो तो बहुत जिंदा दिल औरत है." How I discovered that how it is important to people who are suffering with COVID positive family members not to look at that family as a somebody, oh my God, this is we should run away from them. How it made me realize that how doctors are doing some amazing work, how municipal corporation people are doing some clean, people are doing some amazing work, how police department. I suddenly focus on the things which I had never focused in my life. How there is so much of how people are calling up each other, I wrote a topic on death. I was petrified of thinking as you grow older, you start thinking how many years are left. And we lost some wonderful people in our lives. How death became just a statistics rather than an emotion. How we could not even express or go and hug those people who lost some dear ones. So all those things came into the book in the form of life lessons. And how I feel that we will have a better world after this whole thing gets over. After we will certainly have a better world. It's like Amrit Manthan. जब अमृत मंथन होता है तो उसमें विष भी निकलता है और अमृत भी निकलता है. तो विष के बाद ही अमृत निकलता है. And I'm very happy to share with you that the book is not yet released. It's releasing on 5th, but it's already on the #1 slot of movers and shakers of Amazon. And strangely, the #2 slot is also owned by me for my autobiography. So as they say,
your autobiography itself was a motivational book, you know.
Totally. The whole play is about my failures.
Absolutely.
So I will remind you of what my father told me. I will tell you what my father told me when my first book became a bestseller. I said, Dad, मेरी अंग्रेजी की किताब जो है वो bestseller हो गई है. So he said, अल्लाह मेहरबान तो गधेड़ा पहलवान. So I think in today's time, what we can do is contribute in people's lives. We can always make a difference in somebody's life, not necessarily by physical contribution of something to give, but to change their mindset. Because mindset is really, really life today, which is very, very, we are living social media. We discover how many people have joined us. We find out how many people have liked my post. How many people are following me. I also did a detoxification from social media, which I thought I will never do that.
For how long did you detoxify?
3 weeks.
Long at all? Huh?
3 weeks.
Are you serious?
Yes. I went to 3 weeks. I went to Bhopal to do a film called Last Show with Satish Ji and I. We produced it and acted in it. And I said, I am not going to touch. And I felt so triumphant every single day that I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at it.
What did you miss when you were detoxing from digital space?
Sorry?
What did you miss when you were detoxing from the digital space?
I actually did not miss anything. In fact, I felt liberated.
So how important do you think this detoxing from digital space is?
Detoxification from everything for some time is very important because you need to get in touch with yourself. Otherwise, you are living somebody else's life. Otherwise, people are deciding your life. Otherwise, people are deciding whether you should be happy or not. Otherwise, we are dependent on, the world is trying to make you feel always somebody else is doing better than you.
You know, the way, even on social media, the way you handle yourself, I mean, there's nothing shy about you and about your beliefs and where you come from. And you don't kind of shy away from that, and yet you're not aggressive. How have you managed to balance the difference, the thin line between aggression and assertiveness?
Because when in 2004, for the people, I was the most happening actor. I discovered I was bankrupt because I wanted to become this tycoon. So I had borrowed money. I wanted to have my own studio. I had this huge party in Dila Penta. And until one day, my CA came and told me that we have no money and we owe a lot of money to people. And you are almost on the verge of bankruptcy. At that time, I said, now how do I earn money? So I did a play based on my life, which is called Kuch Bhi Ho Sakta Hai. And I discovered that I was only talking about failures, my shortcomings, my setbacks, my disasters, and making fun of it. That play really, really liberated me of fear of failure. I discovered that there are only few people who matter, whose opinion matters to you. Rest of them, we are always trying to please.
Right.
You know, कुछ लोग ही हैं जो आपको बताएंगे ये करना चाहिए, ये नहीं है. आप उनसे पूछ लो, वो आपके क्लोज रिलेटिव्स होते हैं या बहुत क्लोज दोस्त होते हैं. मैं पिक्चर देखता हूँ, अगर मैं मेरी कोई पिक्चर मैंने लगी है तो मेरा भाई और सिकंदर, दे आर सो अनडिप्लोमेटिक. दे से इट्स वेरी बैड, यू आर सो बैड इन इट. You understand? So that is what is more important. And I also discovered that people try to troll you to get a reaction. If you hit back at them sometimes and sometimes you ignore them, so your job is done. It took its own time. It did not happen overnight. But मैं जिस बैकग्राउंड से आया हूँ, मैं जिस सिचुएशन से आया हूँ, लोगों ने हमेशा बोला, जब मैंने 28 साल की उम्र में सारांश का रोल किया तो लोगों ने कहा मर गया, बर्बाद हो गया, पूरी जिंदगी बुड्ढे का रोल करेगा अभी से ही. When I did villain's role or when I did so, I have always wanted to retain my individuality, and that is my strength. And I also have sense of wonder. You spoke about how we are talking to each other across the lane. I still feel, my God, आप अपने घर पर हो और हमारे साथ ये लोग जुड़ते चले जा रहे हैं. मैं अपने घर पे बैठा हूँ, हम इस मोबाइल पे बातचीत कर रहे हैं. ये कैसे पॉसिबल है? मैं जब बॉम्बे में आया, मुझे पहली बार आफ्टर पैंडेमिक लॉकडाउन मुझे आसमान नीला नजर आया. मुझे पता ही नहीं था मेरे घर के बाहर कोयल बोलती थी. पहले तो बहुत दिनों तो कोयल सुनाई देती थी.
हेज नहीं था. You could suddenly see.
हाँ, सडनली लोग इतनी हैरत अंगेज चीजें थी कि मुझे इतना अच्छा लगा. And I had to write it in a form of a book so that people connect with it and people say nothing has gone wrong. As I told you, I'm an eternal optimist, and my final definition of eternal optimism is nothing is all wrong. Even a clock that has stopped running is correct twice a day.
Oh my God, well said. But I get where you're coming from, and also I would like to say that for me, what you said, that nearly going through bankruptcy and going through all of that moment for me was going bald, losing
yes,
my hair.
You are my hero. I always say that to you.
So that for me was that moment where it didn't matter, and it was all about the looks.
It doesn't matter.
So I realized for how long in my life I had been caught up with how I'm looking, and I must say that it's not easy to kind of give that up. And I get what you're saying, and so for me it was I would say 2018 that my whole recovery period. So when I was ready to kind of start stepping out, and I was not so worried. I was less immunocompromised, as I would like to say. Here was a pandemic, and again I was back inside in a bubble, so to say. It kind of had prepared me a bit for this, but I must say that I felt towards after like about 5 or 6 months of the pandemic, I did feel that dealing with a physical illness, like with the cancer, was somewhere more easier than dealing with pandemic, and it's tougher to deal with the pandemic. And the mental health was so much more difficult to deal with than physical health. And that's why I want to ask you that, to come up with the book, which was motivational, which was, the headspace had to be in a certain way. So
I had to fight my own fear.
Yes.
I wrote this book to fight my own fear, to fight my own insecurities. Sometimes when you write down, you discover. You know how I learn my long lines in movies? I write them down because then they become a reality for me.
Okay.
So when I have fear, when I have indecision, when I have insecurities, I write them down. So I needed to first get rid of my own insecurities, my own fear of the unknown. This pandemic has happened. Only when I could. Only that's why it is not borrowed knowledge. Because I was not quoting Jean-Paul Sartre, or I was not quoting Lorca, I was quoting myself. It is something that I have gone through myself. So then it's easy. As they say that when you're telling the truth, you don't have to remember it. So it's the truth which I went through. It's the truth which I needed to tell myself. And through myself, I want to tell to the world.
So when obviously getting like what I have realized is that getting up every morning or not falling asleep in the nights can be difficult. And then, or when you wake up in the morning and then this whole day in front of you and you don't know how to deal with it. Are there any tools that you use that you can share with us, and maybe you could try and use them? Other than the fact that you write your insecurities down, I think that's an amazing tool, and I think we should try it. But are there any other tools that you use that could be of help?
I always tell my students in my acting school, Actor Prepare, that make a timetable for yourself, even if you are not doing anything. Okay. It is the thought process that you get up and you say you have nothing to do, which bogs you down. तो मैं ये भी लिखता था कि 9 से 10 बजे तक I will look at the tree. 10 से 11 बजे तक I will shave or whatever I have to do. I make a this was taught to us by my acting teacher. That make a schedule. I will sit with my book and stare at it. So I made a schedule. I will do my exercises. It is the non-planning which makes us insecure.
I want to know, in this planning timetable of yours, what was Sikku's timing? Sorry, Sikandar being a dear friend in that sense, you know, what was the timing? Those videos that you both of you put out were hilarious.
Sikandar in the first 3-4
lining in the dark pandemic.
Sikandar in the first 3-4 months used to come out of his room only when the bed sheets used to be changed. First 3-4 months. And in fact, first 15 days when I was quarantining, I just very rarely saw him. He was going through his own situation in life. But in the last 4 months that we were together, and now he's out of station, we started communicating with each other in a different manner. And then he started making these Kher Saab videos. Yeah, yeah. And he will make, till I one day caught him for asked him what is 89 in Hindi. He will do these videos with me. So I think the way we have bonded means I have always been a good father. He's been always a great son. And our relationship is very fantastic. But in the last 5-6 months that we came closer was phenomenal.
I want to kind of mention it for the all of the people who have joined us. I remember during the shooting of Kimat also, or during that drive also, there was the relationship you had with Sikandar was always I was part of that conversation, and I remember that relationship very, very clearly. I remember you telling me the story of how you took him to Dilkush, especially his school, and showed him that look at what is not there.
I'm so happy that you remember that story.
Yes, I remember this because I think that has also, like I said, you have been a motivational person. You motivated me a lot. Yeah. So I remember this, and there was an amazing bond between Sikandar and you always, which was a very strong bond. So would you say that in spite of that, has it become, you are saying it has become stronger in this pandemic? What is the difference from what it was?
You see, my father was my best friend. My father was my best friend. In fact, the character that I portrayed in Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge was actually based on the kind of relationship that I had with my father. And when Sikandar was 4, when Kiran and I are married. Yeah. So I wanted to have the same. That comes from my family. In fact, that comes from the Kher family. Me and my mother, the kind of relationship, me and my brother, the kind of relationship we share is there are no role plays in our life. Right. We don't play any role play. Even Kiran and I do not have a role play in our life. We don't behave like husband and wife.
Right.
It's like if you start telling Goldie ji, suniye, aap jara yahan se aayenge, Goldie will have a heart attack and faint. So I have seen in film people, there are people who sort of say, ji sunte ho, aji kya kehte ho. We don't have. So that is the liberated feeling that we already have in ourselves. Yes, in my own way, I try and tell him whatever I have experienced from my life, that don't do this, don't do that. But I also allow people to learn through their own experiences. Right. The only thing that I say to today's generation is that it's very important to have sense of wonder, because that's what makes you achieve things. It's very important to have this feeling, oh my God, how does this happen? Because today there is Google search, but Google search may give you information, it does not give you knowledge. Right. It's only living life gives you knowledge. Right. So by the time you are 16, 15, you have a very bright son. He's brilliant. I love him. And he's very natural. So that's also because of his upbringing that you have given him. You and your husband has given him.
You know,
he's very real. I have met him only twice. but the kind of conversations he has, you do not think that he is, you don't think that he is trying to be an adult. You don't think that he is trying to be a child. He is just so himself.
So what was it that has changed between or become more between you and Sikandar in this pandemic?
We have discovered the importance of time. We've discovered that time is the most important thing, and that it's very important to share bonds. It's very important to communicate. It's very important to show love.
I want to know how you communicated with Sikandar.
So sometimes we take love for granted, and we take love for granted with our dear ones. I tell my mother every day, I love you. I used to tell my father every day, you need to speak it out. Let's not take it for granted. Right. So Sikandar started saying what he wanted to say. We have amazing comic bonding.
Right.
He also discovered this comic bonding of us together. We know exactly what we share, and we started saying it to each other.
You know, there was a post that Sikandar wrote, which was a very heartfelt post that he wrote for you. And,
yes.
Which is not Sikku.
No, it's not.
You know,
so that is what.
In fact, Sikku, when he is when he is uncomfortable, he'll make a joke. He will kind of, you know, he will put. That's the way he deals with the different thing. That's what I get about Sikku. You know, whatever we do.
This pandemic has changed him completely.
He's closer to Goldie than to me. In fact, he's Goldie and Abhishek's friend rather than mine in that sense. But that's my understanding of Sikku. He's always kind of, you know, laugh things off, or when he's actually feeling something very strongly, he kind of makes a joke about it. And for him to put that post out was a very unlike Sikandar thing. So obviously there's something in that bonding between you in this pandemic, between the both of you, that he has grown.
So I think this happens when you transition from a boy to a man. I think in a maturer person, a sense of responsibility, that I am not that young boy who can do anything. I think that transition happened to him during this pandemic.
Kiran and you haven't met for a while now with this pandemic.
No, I met her recently, after 9 months, 10 months, after 1 year, sorry.
How was it?
She has broken her arm, so it was more of a...
Oh.
Yeah, her arm got broken, unfortunately. But she's fine. It was nice. It was some kind of a healing also. Because there are some certain things which are conveyed now in silently, because everybody has gone through so much, and everybody is trying to be so brave in this pandemic. Everybody is trying to be so solid in this pandemic that inside you're still a little vulnerable. So I think we understood
this relationship between a husband and wife, and I've been married for 18 years now, and there are always surprises that still come out, you know. And as you go through life together, the challenges that life throws, there are the way you kind of navigate them, and how you basically make your life together. So here, after all these years of being married, and here was a pandemic, it was something that was unexpected. As a couple, as a married couple, what was it that was different? What was it that you took away from? What was this thing that pandemic told you about a relationship which you've been in for so long, and you could have easily felt that I know everything about each other? What was the thing that you did?
So I think when you are married for a long time, you take each other's habits for granted, and in fact you start getting irritated with each other's habits. And you know that you've been married for such a long time. Now you can actually verbalize what irritates you. You know, you actually sort of say that, okay, you either say it as depending on what mood are you in. If you're in a calmer mood, you will laugh it off, but you will convey it to me. Dekha, chhod diya na darwaza khula. Maine bola tha darwaza band karke aao. So, and depending, or light band ki nahi ki. These are smaller little things.
Yes.
Yeah. And but you're seeing what role do you play. I can make out.
Guilty.
Yes. But I think after we experienced this whole lockdown and pandemic, I am much more patient. I let her indulge in her small little everybody's eccentricities, and I think she also let me do that. She will take a pause before she will say, don't do that. It's smaller little things. I will take a pause and sort of say, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Darwaza band kiya ki nahi? So I will make sure that either I close. but it will bother her. And she will say it a little later. अच्छा आपने दरवाजा बंद कर दिया? हाँ जी बंद कर दिया. It's small little thing.
Yeah.
So I think that routine that we had taken for granted, we have taken a pause about this. Also because in this pandemic we have collectively meditated. Meditation is about noticing your breath.
Absolutely.
आपके पास इतना टाइम खाली था कि आपके पास अपनी ब्रीदिंग नोट करने का पूरा वक्त मिला आपको.
जी.
तो आई थिंक ये उस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बहुत डिफरेंट हुआ. फिर मेरे डॉक्टर्स के एक्सपीरियंस जो मेरी मदर को जिन्होंने वो किया था, क्योर किया था. देन आई टुक सम चैप्टर्स फ्रॉम अदर पीपल. देयर वाज अ वेडिंग प्लानर इन चेन्नई कॉल्ड विद्या सिंह. I knew her as a friend. I asked her what was her experience. How is she going to sort of deal with people? In India, we have weddings of 1,000 people together, right, etc. So she said people have changed their perspective also. People want to do smaller weddings because the sanctity of the ceremony of wedding is more important than how many people have you invited and how differently you have printed your wedding cards or what are the various things. Because suddenly we are concentrating on the sanctity of the ceremony than on anything else.
Right.
Sports people. I've asked Saina Nehwal to write a chapter in my book. She has also written. Amazing. She has written in that people are playing now, and there are no spectators. How does it motivate them? How does it change their whole system?
How
whole
does
thing? So she said that I in any case focus inside.
Right.
I focus inside and it made me more focused.
Wow.
You see, earlier you could get distracted अगर आपने एक shot अच्छी मारी है और लोगों ने उसको clap किया तो there is a possibility of distraction. And yet you are playing for your country. So that whole thing changed, the perspective changed. So it is already going to benefit the world. And some people who will want some kind of guidance, there is always somebody called Anupam Kher who will write this book and make them feel motivated. Yeah.
And tell them that somebody like Anupam Kher will write a book which will tell you and remind you that your best day is today.
Today.
It's
yes.
now that matters.
Yes.
And think about the tomorrow. That's the future. Yes. The past is today. That
you have motivated me so much. The way you have dealt with your life, I have been telling you in New York that courage is about how you deal with the situation. Not every time कि मैं इतना courageous हूँ. It's only when you are discovered what your true sense is or your true self is when you are faced with a situation. And that I think is the most amazing thing that has happened. And your life has also taken a different turn now.
Yes, it has.
And you are
I've grown up, I have evolved, and there's been a lot of learning. And like you said that yes, before the pandemic, that was something that I learned. And I just feel that now a lot of people will be on the same page as me, where we say that what really matters are the simple things in life, your near and dear ones, because that's your support system. That's what you live for.
Absolutely.
Your basic food and water and your hygiene. And the one thing that I hadn't thought of, which you reminded me, and which is absolutely important, is Wi-Fi. That's like my son saying, "Is there Wi-Fi? Is there Wi-Fi?" And that's
exactly.
not there. He behaves like something.
आप किसी के घर जाते हो, आप ये नहीं पूछते कि माता पिता कैसे हैं, कहते Wi-Fi है. So 3 things we need: close ones, essential commodities, and Wi-Fi. Rest, I don't think when people will want to say that, oh, I just bought a Gucci bag, I just bought this Louis Vuitton, I just have these things, because कहाँ रह गए सब दिखाने के लिए? हमने Zoom calls ऐसी सिचुएशन में की है. इस समय मैंने शर्ट पहनी, नीचे ट्रैक पैंट पहना हुआ है. सिंपल सी बात है. So it's what is important. Yes, lighting.
How little we need. So what next?
So I will this 5th ko I'm waiting for the book. I want to do some events with people who like doctors. I want to do events for the book with the doctors, with the municipal corporation people. I'm going for a shoot on the to Uttarakhand, doing a film over there. And because when I went back to New York this time, it is not the same place.
Can you tell me more about it? Because of course there's a huge connection for me there. New York.
I know.
So much time there.
No, I feel that what changed what changed, my staying here for 8 months in this lane and in this house made me realize that I was very peaceful here. There was a certain amount of peace that restless person felt it's important to take pause. But when I went to New York this time, that New York had lost, I'm sure it will regain it, but it had lost its internal inner quality of vibrancy. जब आप किसी चीज को, जैसे किसी आदमी को, किसी इंसान को आप मिलते हैं और वो बहुत वाइब्रेंट होता है और सडनली वो एक मोरोज सा हो जाता है, तो आपको लगता है ना, अरे इतना क्या चेंज आ गया, वो चेंज आ गया उसमें. उसकी आत्मा कहीं ना कहीं, the soul of New York is wounded because of this whole thing. People are not on the streets. That hustle bustle is not there. 1/4 of New York has gone to the neighboring cities. People, my cousins who I used to visit regularly went to Austin. Some people have gone to Connecticut. Some people have gone to some other places. The shops are not open. I used to live close to Lincoln Center. There is no theater. There is no shows. There is no Broadway. And people who are walking fast nowhere earlier are walking slowly also nowhere. So yeah, I'm sure it will come back. It's also a great learning for all of us that let's sort of go slow. And I think I'm here now.
It's
and
like what I've been saying since the time. It's the new normal. And it is going to be, I think what we need to do now is not wait for things to change back to what it was, but understand that world has changed forever. Yes. Now the normal is going to be the new normal, and the faster we adapt to it, the better it will be. It's going to be hard. Any kind of change is hard. It's heartbreaking. And I can just say that for me, it's just gratitude that, we are able to go through this with some basic comforts in life and to have our near and dear ones around us. And absolutely. On that note, I am going to say that all the best for whatever it is that you're going to plan next, because I'm sure it's going to be fabulous.
Thank you.
And looking forward to more motivation from you, because you've given that a lot. Without writing a motivational book, also you have motivated us. And here's to reading this completely. I've read part of it and I'm looking forward to reading it fully. Anupam,
wonderful. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure talking. Next time I'm actually going to come home and please have a cup of coffee or tea or a glass of wine.
I was sending food for Sikandar. I think you were traveling at that point.
Yes.
Tell me when. You're most welcome. And I would like to say, please say hi to Mr. Ashok Chopra. I met him, your publisher. I met him in New York. Wonderful guy. And wonderful person. Please say hi to him. And I wish you all the best.
They've done a great job. They're wonderful publishers. They're wonderful people. They're like family. They've really, really gone out of their way to make every book of mine look fantastic. But thank you so much.
I have to say one thing. I have to apologize to a lot of people who I had promised that I will ask, write in questions and I'm going to ask their questions. But I think I got so busy talking with you that I've really not taken in too many questions. But
I think we've answered their question in this conversation.
Yes, I have covered most of them, and I have not taken their names in that, but most of the questions have been answered, so I've not really done that. I apologize for that. I'm sure I'll think of something to make up for that. But at this point of time, Anupam, all the best. And all of you out there, read the book. A lot of life lessons in it. And like I said, it's the new normal. And the faster we adapt, the faster we learn to adapt to the new normal, the happier we are going to be. And remember,
thank you.
Today is your best day.
Thank you. Thank you, Sonali. God bless you. Thank you. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.